People are celebrating the downfall of the boomers.
Tonight, we begin exploring an anxiety-producing question. Do I have enough saved for retirement? Nearly 40% of households face a lower standard of living in retirement. Over the next few months, Eye on America will examine the uncertainties of retirement and retirement planning.
People are celebrating the downfall of the boomers. So boomers are rapidly ending up homeless. They're becoming homeless faster than any other demographic in the United States. Watch the end of the video to understand why people are celebrating the downfall of the boomers and what implications this will have for the boomers and other generations as they begin to retire and find themselves without enough savings to keep them through retirement. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
This is certainly not part of Larry Gessick's retirement plan. The 77-year-old electrician by trade leaves at 5:30 a.m. and heads for his part-time job unloading trailers at a local supermarket in St. Petersburg, Florida, for $14.75 an hour. His wife, Joyce, 66, prepares for her workday, making $14 an hour as a full-time legal administrator.
It's not really a retirement.
What is it?
It's working every day.
The Gessicks came out of retirement not because they wanted to, but because they had to, and are among the 11 million Americans, 1 in 5 over 65, who are still working.
It's hard, 77, still busting my butt.
So I call it the work, retire, repeat syndrome.
Labor economist Teresa Ghilarducci says work is the new retirement.
More than half of the people who are retired right now do not have enough money to be retired.
Who's to blame for all of this?
I blame policymakers who experimented with our retirement system 40 years ago, and they are not saying the experiment failed.
That experiment is what we know today as the 401k, named after part of a 1978 law that offered companies an alternative to the traditional pension plan.
The thought was that Americans just need a little bit of financial literacy and they can just save on their own.
But in fact, many of today's older workers were never taught enough about saving and investing for retirement.
I grew up on a farm. Nobody there instructed any of us to put money aside and make your own way later on down the road.
Whether you're past 65 like the Gessicks or almost their ages, there are a few rules of the road to keep in mind.
Now, notice what this guy says. He says that no one really instructed them to be financially literate. No one told them to save for the future. That's a lie. Their parents told them to save for the future and to not depend on Social Security. This is what the boomers were told. Guys, I told you it was one big party for them, man. Yeah, man. These are the same people that were smoking pot and getting laid all over the place. They were hippies. They had a good time. George Carlin warned us about these people, all right? He was a member of the silent generation, and he told us these people were cold. They wanted all the toys for themselves, and they were pissed off that they're staring down the barrel of old age right now, and they don't like it one bit, all right? And they want to make the world harder and harder for young people. That's how they are. And now here you have these people pushing 80 years old, some of them, and they're saying that it's the fault of lawmakers and policymakers why they can't retire, and they're facing down the barrel of old age, not knowing what to do. Like, you've got to be kidding me. Talk about irresponsibility, y'all. Talk about taking zero accountability, y'all. This is how these people have always been. This is the baby boomers. It's a sad reality, but it's a reality that we all must accept and comprehend. They have always been like this. They have always thought like this, all right? When people said that millennials will not have Social Security, you know, they're like, everything will be okay. And millennials have been told for a long time, there won't be any Social Security for you. Gen Xers are pissed off. Gen Xers right now are trying to run like not a scheme, but basically a lot of Gen Xers are like, okay, listen, how about this? You give me back what I paid into it, and I won't ask for anything. So just give me back what I paid into it. See, that's because a lot of Gen Xers know they will never get more out of it than they're not going to collect it. They will never get anything nearly close to what they paid into it. likely not forget about half, maybe not even they're not gonna get anything out of it. A lot of Gen Xers know they're not gonna get anything out of it, and that's why they're just asking for what they paid back, what they paid. They're just asking back for what they paid into it, and that money is already gone. It's a scam. It's a Ponzi scheme where it's dependent upon someone like another group of idiots paying into it later on to subsidize the livelihoods of the next generation of idiots. Welcome to 401k. Welcome to welcome to Social Security. Welcome to the Ponzi scheme. I talked about 401k. I said that, when crap hits the fan and when crap hits the fan and we enter into the next great financial collapse and the next Great Depression, what's going to happen with 401k? And I said, and I basically asked in a poll, will it be okay? Funds will be available, or and most people said it will. Said that it'll basically you'll be told that not accessible, currently not accessible. Try again some other time. That is the absolute truth. Those 401k plans, you have to remember that they are locked by the state, they are locked by companies, they're locked by the government. So the government is going to pillage those 401k plans. You will never see your 401k plan, and what they'll tell you is based something along the lines of, okay, so here's how it's going to operate. You're just going to have to settle for lower. You heard me right. You're going to have to settle for lower payments from your 401k into old age. So when it comes time to collect from your 401k, they're just going to tell you, yeah, man. So there's nothing here for you right now, but try back later on. And then after time, maybe like after a couple, like years or even a decade, they're going to say, okay, so we'll allow you to collect a reduced amount from your 401k. That's the same thing that's going to happen with Social Security, where boomers will be collecting a reduced amount from Social Security. They're projecting it to be 77% of what they're getting today, but that's based on the current job market. Assuming that men continue paying as much taxes as they are today. And keep in mind, 30 million men have already dropped out of the workforce, and many more are on the way. Gen Z is not going to replenish the workforce. All right, the workforce is actually shrinking, and because so many men are choosing not to marry, not have children, and are walking away, they're going to cut their hours back. So that's going to be a massive drop. When you consider that 45% of all women between the ages of 25 and 44 will be childless and single come 2030. And that's not even factoring in single mothers. And now there are new studies that are also showing that, the U.S. birth rate has fallen to the lowest numbers it's ever been. Women are having fewer children than they've ever had before, and that number continues to decline. What that tells us is that if men are not establishing family units, if men are not getting married, they have no incentive to work harder and to work longer hours because they don't have a family to provide for. Hence, they don't need to work all of that those extra hours. They basically have more free time. They can work. They can live more comfortably, and with the cost of rent increasing and all of these things, a lot more men are just going to say, "I'm going to buy a piece of land and put a mobile home on it, or a tiny house on it, or I'm going to do exactly what some guys have been saying they're doing is getting a van and living in that van." And basically, I've said it constantly, the average man can live in a shoebox quite content at the side of the road. The average man can live happily in a shoebox at the side of the road. What is a van? It is a shoebox for a man, okay? Do not confuse it. It is a shoebox, just like how you would have a gerbil or a hamster, and you put the gerbil or the hamster in a shoebox, okay? It is essentially the exact same thing. In fact, I would argue it might even be a little bit smaller in some cases, and depending on the size of the van, and the average man, a lot of men now are living comfortably in a shoebox at the side of the road, and they are extremely happy. All right, they're setting up solar electricity, so they do not pay anything for electricity. They have water. They have a water tank in there, so some of these things even have showers in there. They're living comfortably in a shoebox at the side of the road, and they refuse to ever go back to living in a house or whatever. This is how these men are operating right now. Oh, well, what if there's a natural disaster, man, and you need a place to stay? You got to get out of the rain, right? Okay, that's fine. After spending so many years living in a shoebox at the side of the road, if the day comes where they need to get off the street, they'll just rent a hotel room. They'll either write it out in their shoebox at the side of the road, or they will rent a hotel room. Okay, and they'll just crash there, or they'll stay with friends or family if they can. All right, because they'll look for the best. Many of these people will look for the most simple methods of avoiding spending any real money. So if they can stay with friends or family, they'll stay with friends or family. If they can't, worst case scenario, they'll rent a hotel room using some of the money that they've been saving over the last couple of years living this way. And that's the end of that. And they don't care. All the while, modern women will be, they're going to be struggling because there's not going to be any men that are going to be subsidizing their living anymore. And the government can't afford anything. And when it comes to the old people, when it comes to the boomers, there's no more money, man. And if you try to print more money, it's just going to result in worse inflation. So the value of the money continues to decline, which is something that the boomers don't seem to comprehend. That, the worse inflation gets, the less the money is even worth. They're like, print more. Okay, they do quantitative easing, they print more. It results in even increasing, it results in even in more inflation, and your money is worth less. So it's like, I don't know. And who do they blame? They blame policy. Hell, if they could blame their kids, they would blame their kids. They take no accountability for the fact that they're the ones who helped us set those damn policies. All right? A lot of these people are pushing 80 years old right now. They're the ones who helped to set these policies for them. Many of their parents have been gone for decades. You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. This is how the baby boomers are. They're like, yeah, man, party, man. They've been having a good, guys. George Carlin said it. All right. They did drugs. It was drugs, sex, and rock and roll for 50 years. And now they're staring down the barrel of old age, and they don't like it one bit. They don't like it one bit. George Carlin said this like 2 decades ago about them. He warned us about them like 2 decades ago. And now they want to blame everyone because they can't survive anymore because they didn't plan for retirement. This guy was an electrician. Think about how much money this joker has made in his life. While idiots like me went to college and got useless degrees, he was actually out there earning a ton of money. What happened to all of that cash? Bro? What happened to all of that money? Where did you spend all of that money? Guys, a lot of these guys, I used to say this. I used to say, listen, don't think that the crack epidemic only affected the black community, all right? Because Grandma Becky because back in the 80s, Grandma Becky was a legendary crackhead. Y'all remember that? Do not forget that. The boomers were all messing around, okay? They were getting high. They were involved in sexually immoral acts. They were doing some very, very bad things, man. Bad things. These are some bad apples, man. Bad apples. And they did this for 50 years, and now they're screwed. All right? They didn't plan for the future. They spent everything partying. They drank it out. They smoked it out. They did every bad thing you could imagine. And now they want to, and now they're trying to like have society hold the bill for them. And it's just not happening because there's really no more money, man. There's really no more money. They're like, come on, man, just give me a little money, man. Come on, man, give me the. Who does that sound like to you? It sounds like Gen Z. This is the reason why these people are now so like desperate for socialism. It's about kindness. It's about kindness. We all should get a livable wage. Really, working at Walmart, yes, you should get a livable wage. Yes. So if you work at Walmart in New York, a livable wage would be somewhere around $120,000 a year. So that would be $60,000. That'd be about $60 an hour. So we should be paying Walmart door greeters $60 an hour. Yes, it's about kindness. Guys, these are the people. The boomers and Gen Z, I already told you. Gen Z are the reincarnates of these individuals. They are the reincarnates of these bad apples. Guys, we're only going to see more destitution, poverty, and homelessness among older people and women. As men walk away, men avoid society and choose to focus on themselves and their own happiness. And if you look at the comments, if you look at some of the comments that are actually being left regarding the boomers, you can see this here on a video I made. Boomers are passing away homeless, and many of you guys were like, Dolph Smidler said, they just should have worked harder and stop being snowflakes. Also, please, guys, don't help out the boomers, especially if they kicked you out at 18 years old. Holy cow. Yeah, guys, so Gen Xers and older millennials still remember that. They're still carrying that weight with them. My father told me to get out at 14. All right? 14, the old boomer. Let's see here. Let's keep going. Unicorn says, the irony, they told us to hit the pavement. Yeah, Gen X is pissed. Or rather, they're just having a good time. Brandon, they're just having a good time watching the downfall. Brandon says, like Gen Z, they're in a situation not even duct tape can fix. Hungali says, life is hard, then you die. Period. Holy cow. Culture says, I don't wish homelessness on anyone, but the rotten attitudes of this generation and all that they have done to succeeding generations makes me rethink my stance sometimes. Let's go ahead and give that a like and a heart. Mr. Black says, irresponsible people who demand their social security checks and told millennials tough luck. They're like, we paid into the system. We paid for it. Yeah. Yeah, good luck, boomer. Let's see here. Vince says 1963. No, it was actually 1964. It was the last of boomers. The truth is, guys, do you see this? Look at this. He was born in 1963. He says he's the last of the boomers. He said, the truth is, I partied my ass off for 35 years, woke up and started saving my ass off, retiring in 11 months. You are right. You are right. Boomers thought we would never get old. Real talk. Guys, you see that? Do you see that? Do you see what he said? Do you see what he said? All right. The truth is, I partied he was born in 1963. He's the last of the boomers. All right. And he said, the truth is, I partied my ass off for 35 years. Woke up and started saving my ass off. Retire in 11 months. You are right. Boomers thought we would never get old. All right. Real talk in all caps. No, guys, no lies. I'm telling you the truth. Most of you don't know who they are. This is why we had such terrible childhoods with the boomers, because they were stingy. They were too busy enjoying themselves. They didn't want to spend money on their kids. They wanted to spend it on themselves. And they were desperate for money. They were desperate for money, always involved in their damn Ponzi schemes. All right? Guys, who does that remind you of? Gen Z? Gen Z? Desperate for money. Desperate for money. Give me money. Give me money. Give me the money. Give me the money. Give me the money right now. Give me the money right now. They're like there's these, like, when you go to Africa, they're like corrupt police officers in Africa, and they demand money from you. That's Gen Z. Give me money. Give me money right now. Give me the money. Give me the money. Give me the money. Give me the money right now. Give me the money right now. Let's see here. Daddy says, many of us are preparing for disasters. I did not need to go to the store. I grow a lot of stuff. Let's see here. Let's keep going. Prodigal says, I have more sympathy for sharks. Sharks are thrown into the world at birth with teeth, ready for just about anything. Humans can barely get their crap together after 18 to 25 years, and oftentimes not even then. MK Mobile Gaming says, get a job, boomers. Oh, gosh. Let's see here. This is crazy. But he says everyone is a contractor now. Ha. Jason says, the South is not where I would be homeless. Too hot, too many insects. Oh my goodness. Dion says, angry is so funny. They will burn down the house. Bad muffins. Man, that was referring to Gen Z. I called them bad muffins. I say you can't just leave them around and let them do what they want. All right? They'll burn everything down. Gotta be careful of these people. Gotta be real careful of these bad muffins. Let me just go ahead and like this one from DI. He says, boomers being homeless is not a societal issue. It's like when Steve Jobs was like, there were problems with the iPhone, like depending on how you held it, and Jobs reported not a non-issue. Then they basically gave people like free bumpers afterwards. Sandy says, the boomers spent all of their money on booze and cigarettes. Don't forget cocaine. User says, yeah, guess they should have been nice to their Gen X kids. Yep, serves them right. Let's keep going. Jason says, cat lady confirmed. Okay. Real says, angry guy, the preppers are having an amazing time waiting for the dream of the world ending happening. I've been watching Canadian Prepper and Dem Cats. Yeah, the Preppers guys, they've been waiting for this. They've been waiting for the end of the world. Gotta be careful with those damn Preppers. Guys, in 2020, when everything went to hell, you know who was celebrating? You was having a good time? The Preppers. The Preppers. You know who are making tons of money off eBay for toilet paper? Selling them like $1 a sheet, $1 a square. The Preppers. Y'all, I'm telling you, the Preppers are no joke. Anthony says, in regards to Gen Z, those are dog years. Ha ha ha. Oh, I agree. Emily says, coming from Cuba, they should have known better. You get what you vote for, especially California. So there were some boomers in the video that were from Cuba. They came from Cuba in like the early 90s. They were environmental activists. They had a good time, and then now they're poor. Now they're broke and living off the state. Yeah. Let's keep going. Yeah, Leon is so I used to refer to these individuals as a whole is a whole. A whole is a whole. And that's how they treated life. A whole is a whole. And Leon is reminding me, throwing us back to those days. Drew calls it poetic justice. Yeah. Let's see here. Duke says, I will confess I am the enemy, a boomer with no child abuse on my head. Holy cow. With no child abuse on my hands. I am a man going my own way before it was even fashionable. Whether I end up homeless is another matter. As of right now, 0 debts and never went into parties. But yep, many were ravers, hippie types. I really enjoy your videos, laughing my head off. At least you'll have a few honest ones that'll come up and tell you the truth. Guys, they were all doing bad. The boomers but 99% of them were all out here using substances, shooting it up, getting high, just sleeping with, getting laid all over the place in the grass. There are videos that can't even be put on the internet right now because they would just be straight up. It'd be considered like just straight up content that could not go up. Yeah, guys, they did it. The boomers did it. They did this. Grandson says karma. So yeah, a lot of you have no sympathy. Duke, he actually left me a $10 super thanks for this one. And he's a boomer. So yeah, you can see he doesn't really like his people. Okay. Basically, give them enough time, they'll tell on themselves. Most boomers live this type of life. They messed around and now they're going to find out, and they're facing extraordinary destitution, and no one's coming to save them, and they're going to blame everyone, but no one cares. All right. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying the content, subscribe to our newsletter for my personal thoughts, insights, and a free copy of my ebook, The Blueprint for Escaping the Rat Race. Click the link in the description to get your free copy. What do you guys think regarding all of this? People are celebrating the downfall of the boomers. Let me know your thoughts, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. If you like the video, share the video, and just remember that all roads lead to MWM and walking away. And cheers.